What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here, back with the fifth and final one-day international against Sri Lanka in this five-match one-day series. The series is already wrapped up in a sense. We're up 3-1. We lost the fourth game, but won the first three. So this game here, I wouldn't say necessarily is a dead rubber, but a good opportunity for, I guess, a few fringe guys to really stand up and make their make their mark, I guess you would say. Because basically, I'm really looking for just one spinning all-rounder, you would have to say, especially when we play in subcontinental conditions. At the moment, we've got Maxwell, Agar, and Zampa from 6 to 8. Realistically, if I head anywhere else apart from the subcontinent, I'm probably only going to be playing a max of 2 of those guys, if not maybe just one. So this is a good opportunity, you know, for all of them to really go and try and stamp their mark. I think it probably is more between Agar and Zampa, because Maxwell's a guy who I can probably play inside the top 5, top 6, who can just be a bit of a part-timer for me if need be. But we have started off pretty well here. We're playing on a very good pitch. And Warner has been in very good form in this series. I think he scored 100, I know that for a fact. And then I think he scored like a 90-odd as well. Got out for 90, which is a real shame. Uzi will be looking to score some runs because he's been a little bit lean. And heading into our next series, I'm not sure if I can re-choose my squad for the 2 T20s that follow this game. But if they do, I might possibly look at bringing in another keeper. Tim Payne hasn't really worked well for me. He's batted all over the order. He's opened. He's batting at number 5 today. He has, I think, batted at number 7 for quite a few of the games as well. So it really is just finding, I guess, that keeper that we can go and count on. I think, you know, Peter Handscomb might be an option. The guy made his one-day debut on Thursday night for Australia. Did very, very well. And I guess probably in this game, it isn't as much of an issue giving a guy like him the gloves, as long as he can do a pretty standard job, you would have to say, and basically, you know, just do a little bit, then we are going to be in. You know, it just adds a lot more balance to that team. And balance is something that I talk about a lot in my videos. If you've got a guy who... oh, God, this is going to be run out. Easy. Straight to the fielder. There's no run there, Warner. And you've just gone and bloody run out your teammate, your opening partner, Usman Khawaja, who was going absolutely beautiful, it must be said. Gone for 52 off 51. But in comes Chris Lynn. And Chris Lynn, this is a big game for him. Excuse me, as well, because he hasn't really lit it up, I must say, in the one-day arena. He's got an average of 34, strike rate of 80, which is pretty good, but today he's got a really good opportunity to play himself in and then have some big fireworks towards the back end of the innings. Number 3, personally, for Chris Lynn, you know, isn't really the spot that I would normally play him in. In this series, I did go in, I think, quite a few batsmen light. Like, the only batsman I think I actually have on the bench really is Travis Head. I took a lot of all-rounders just because I'm trying to find, I guess, that all-rounder that I can go and, you know, just have as a top 5, top 6 player who's going to be both good in both facets. So, as I said, big chance for Chris Lynn. He's possibly a guy who could come down bat number 5 or somewhere around there for... Oh, don't take 2. Warner, first of all, you've bloody run your partner out. Now you've run yourself out for 33. And that is not what we want to see. Steve Smith coming in. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, potentially Chris Lynn is a guy who could look at batting at number 5 in that Chris Payne spot. Ideally, if I could find... I want to say a keeper who can open the batting, but I mean, Uzi has just gone and showed that he can get the job done here today. Chris Lynn gone, so that is a big shame. Gone for 32, was aggressive today, but couldn't quite hang around. So I think realistically, a keeper who could bat number 3 would be, or even number 4 would be ideal for me, and then we could move Steve Smith up to that number 3 position. But that is neither here nor there. The combination is working pretty well. As I said, we've only lost 1 game in this series, and this is the last game here. So, won the test matches as well, quite convincingly, which we didn't actually see. But, yeah, very, very convincing. 3-0 in Sri Lanka is very good. Peter Handscomb, he played there. Warner was incredible. Smith was incredible. Agar was good with both bat and ball, so that is real good positive signs for him. And I mean, we've got Nathan Lyon to come back into the side. People have said that Nathan Lyon in this game is absolutely incredible, so I might have to look at potentially giving him a run somewhere. Yeah, not just in the test matches, in the limited overs forms as well. He is very, very good. So, have to probably try and squeeze him in. Again, this probably would have been a perfect opportunity to do it, playing in subcontinental conditions. I think we head back to Australia after this for a 3-match test series against South Africa. So again, those pitches probably not really suitable to playing 2, even 3 spinners. We'll probably look to go for, I would say, a 3-prong pace attack with Nathan Lyon as the spinner, and then possibly Mitchell Marsh or someone as an all-rounder, just to again balance out the side. But really does depend who we go with for our keeper in that series. I mean, another thing, if we go with Peter Handscomb, he can bat at number 5. It means that we can play another batsman. We can play a couple of all-rounders if we wanted to. We will just have to wait and see. We've still got to get through this game. We've got to get through the 2 one-day internationals that come after this. But at the 30-over mark, we are in a pretty good position, it must be said. We've got 180 on the board. We were only 3 wickets down. So we are just going to really need Payne and Smith to carry on. This is a great opportunity. Tim Payne has gone and got himself a start, I guess, to really make his mark. Obviously, opening didn't work very well for him. But yeah, great opportunity to score some runs. And just as I say that, I go and put the mockers on him, and he is gone. So Maxwell in there, and hoping he has got a big spin bowling preference. So hopefully we can get some spinners on in these last few overs, and he can really go and propel the score up, you know, to above 300. Because I think 300, oh Jesus, probably is par on this pitch. Just looking at how it is. So we've still got Smith in, obviously, but we don't want to lose him because he is going along nicely at the moment. His run, what am I saying? His strike rate. I was going to say his run rate. The run rates for the team. His strike rate has dropped just a little bit. But now that he is on 60, and we do still have Agar and Zampa left to come, so very adequate batters. James Pattinson as well and Mitchell Stark all can hold a bat. They can all hit a ball. So it is really now up to Smith and Maxwell to up that run rate. And as I said, if we get anything less than 300, I am going to be probably a bit disappointed, because I think this pitch definitely is a 300 plus pitch. And if we can't get that, then we could put our bowlers under a bit of stress. That's what happened in the last 2 games. We did win the 3rd one-day international, but we did have to work hard for it. We played Kuntanao and Pat Cummins both. Didn't really get the job done for me, which is a shame. We've got Stark and Hazelwood back, so we've got probably our full-strength bowling lineup, it would be said. Smithy goes for 73, Ashton Agar in now, and this is probably the perfect opportunity for Agar and Maxwell to be in. There's only 6 overs left to go. Only 250 on the board, though, so we're going to really need both Agar, and there's a perfect shot to start things off. To get off the mark with a 6. But we are really going to need these guys to up the run rate, it must be said, to get us towards that 300, which is looking ever increasingly worse. And this is a real shame that we have finished up the way that we have. And there is a wicket. So there is just 1 over left to go and only 270 on the board. And on a pitch like this, to be honest, I don't think it is enough against this dangerous Sri Lankan lineup. Zamps goes down the ground last ball. He finishes 6 off 3. We finished 277 for 6, which isn't the worst performance in the world. But it's one of those things that the start that we got off to, obviously, with Warner and Uzi, we would really be hoping for something a bit better. But you can't ask for much more of a better bowling start than that, as we've seen Pereira go for a 3rd ball duck caught by Smith in the slips. And that is exactly what we wanted, especially posting what I believe to be a below par total. But then again, the clouds are starting to come out, as we can see. The light's still good. But the clouds may come in for a little bit of swing, which is good because we do have Pattinson to come as well. No Mitch Marsh today, so we are lacking that 4th seam bowling option. But hopefully Stark, Hazelwood, and Pattinson can get the job done, as Stark gets a nice return caught and bowled. Chandimal gone, so we've got A. Pereira and Matthews in. And I think it's one of those things with the Sri Lankan lineup. If you can get through, you know, those big players, you get through that Chandimal, you get through Matthews, you get through that top 5, and you consider yourself in with a very good chance of defending or bowling them out for a very low total. I mean, there probably is another one for Mitchie Stark. You beauty. The finger goes up. He grabs his 3rd and just his, I think this is his 4th over, actually. But he gets that. Has been a little bit expensive, but has done the job. And he's gone and knocked over the top 3 of the Sri Lankans with relative ease. So hopefully the other guys can start to go and, you know, rally around him and follow a bit of Mitchell Stark's lead. But he has finished 3 for 27. What am I saying? Off his first 5 overs. The fielding restrictions are now done and dusted. It'll be interesting to see how the spinners do go today. Not much is going to be going in their favour. So hopefully they can go and get something. Big wicket there from Jimmy Pattinson. He gets Matthews for 13. And as I was saying, if you can get through, early on, that top 4, top 5 of the Sri Lankans, which is exactly what we've done here, it is going to make it a hell of a lot easier for us. So we're just going to make sure we've got a defensive field. The run rate has gone up above 6, which is a good thing for us, especially with the spinners now starting to come on. So if we can get through 10, maybe 15 overs of good quality spin, along with Pattinson. Pattinson is still going to be going from the other end because he picked up that wicket. But if we can get through that, it is really going to go and push that required run rate for the Sri Lankans up big time. At the moment, it is already above 6, so we just need a couple of tight overs. Without boundaries, without that Zampa. You've gone for one off your last ball. That is not what we wanted. We want some dots. We want some wickets. And there is a big inside edge from Mendes. Runs away for 4. But that is exactly the kind of chance that we needed. And this has been a good over for the Sri Lankans so far. Pattinson just getting absolutely taken to. Gone for 13. Actually, make that 17. What an over. That has really brought them back into this game. And the spin that I have just seen down the bottom that we have started to get just a little bit more turn for the spinners, which could hopefully work very well in our favour. But it's not working so well for Zampa. Zampa was one of those guys for me who was either really hot or really cold. He would either be really good or really, really terrible. And I think today might be one of those days that he just doesn't go and get the job done. This should be a run out, surely. Direct hit, and he's gone by an absolute mile. So Jayasundara, who was starting to look very, very promising, is gone. And a bit of pressure from Agar to go and pick up that wicket. And as I said, that is exactly what we want. Don't want to be doing that. Do not want to be bowling no balls that go for boundaries. And this is the time that we want to go and, as I said, really try and dot them up if we can. We've had a good couple of overs. We've obviously picked up that run out, which is good. But we want to keep going, picking up some dots and moving that run rate up if we can. But the chances are coming. These Sri Lankans are playing the ball in the air. And all I think it is, I think it's just one wicket. If we get that one, then we are going to be in, I was going to say into the tail, but De Silva is a very good player, very established one-day player in the Sri Lankan side now. So if we can get him, then we could be in for a very short game and a very quick end to this game if possible. There's an edge. So the ball, as we can see, probably is starting to turn just a little bit for the Aussies, which is what we like to see. I might even possibly bring in one of the quicks just to try and get something. As I said, Agar hasn't... well, both the spinners really haven't done the job, so it's going to be up to Glenn Maxwell. Hopefully he can come in, roll that golden arm over, and just look to try and break this partnership if we can, because I think the closer we take it, the more difficult it is going to be. And we have, as I said, probably it was an under par total. We were looking at somewhere around 300, as par. That's exactly what we want, the outside edge. Good take by Timmy Payne. And Agar gets the breakthrough that we need. But, Sri Lanka are looking pretty good at this stage. Heading into the 30 over mark, they do have 150 on the board. The one thing that is an issue for them is that they are 6 wickets down. And I think after this guy here, after this partnership, there isn't really going to be too much left in the batting tank. So if we can somehow go and, as I said, just break this partnership, just get that wicket, it is going to make a whole lot of difference. The required run rate is back at 6, so we just also want some tight overs from our spinners. If they can go and get the job done, be tight, economical, we can see that turn from Glenn Maxwell. So the ball is starting to spin just a little bit, and almost a run out. A run out would have been perfect. Another one. There were 2 in our innings, remember, both Warner and Khawaja getting out, run out. But it's just one of those things. I'm going to bring Stark back, try and break the partnership, because I think if we don't, it could be, oh, that was close. I was going to say, it could make it just a little bit difficult for us to go and come back. I'm going to bring Pattinson on. Just bowl Stark a couple. And as I said, try and get the breakthrough, because that's a bit of a dodgy LBW decision. We get Mendes for 57. As I said, he is probably one of the last recognised batsmen. which is good to see. I was only going to bowl Stark a couple. He's had his couple. Pattinson has bowled really well since he's come back with this older ball. He's got 3 for 32 now, and he'll be looking to go and try and pick up a 5-wicket bag, which doesn't happen very often for him, but he does have a very good opportunity to get it here, and he might even, I was going to say, get it off that ball to Malinga, but not the case. Going to bring Zamps back on just because I want him to get a wicket. I want him to improve on that average. But Sri Lanka now 9 down, and to bring Pattinson back in at that stage was an absolute masterclass. Zampa does the rest. He cleans up the tail with a nice stumping from Payne. One thing I will say, Payne hasn't been scoring runs for me, but he has been very, very tidy behind the wickets. James Pattinson, man of the match for his 4 for 32. Mitchell Stark was good as well. And as we can see, Australia win this one-day series 4-1, which goes with our Test Series victory of 3-0, which was quite dominating actually when you look at it there. Win by 10 wickets, 345 runs and 299 runs. So that is now done and dusted. As I said, we've got 2 one-day internationals, which I might show you the second one of. If not, we're going to be into our second series, which is the 3 test matches against against South Africa as Australia. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Do hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, this is Cliffy, your king of career mode and New Zealand's #1 source of international cricket content, signing out.